everybody, and welcome to the Ladybug Girl show. This is the star of our show, Ladybug Girl. Actually, it's not the star of our show. This week it's Mommy and Daddy. We're going to tell you all about how we met and how Ladybug Girl came to be. Are you ready? Let's find out all about it. So we first met when we were in high school in Marysville, Washington.
I was a sophomore and Michael was a junior.
There's this one song by the Breeders called Do You Love Me Now? And we didn't know it at the time, but both of us were listening to that song thinking about the other person. And I actually wrote down the lyrics in one of my letters that I gave to her later. And we were both surprised when we realized we were both listening to the same song. And so that,
each other.
yeah, so that became our song. Actually, the only date we have written down for like our first date type of thing was a dance that we went to March 13th, 1997, which was a Friday. So because we didn't really have an official date, we always celebrated our anniversaries on Friday the 13th, which was kind of fun. We had more than one anniversary most years. Once I graduated high school, I went to the University of Washington, and Hilda came out pretty much every weekend to visit me in the dorms.
The next year, I followed Michael to the University of Washington, where I got my degrees in astronomy and physics, and Mike did math.
Yep. In 2003, once I graduated, I got a job at the hospital we currently work at. Once Hilda graduated a year later, she followed me there too, and got a job there.
I have this really bad habit of just following him wherever he goes.
So some of you might not know this, but women have an alarm clock that goes off at the age of 25. They either want to get married, have a kid, buy a house, or everything. You know, they just want something. And so I kind of put it off for a couple years after that, convinced her we needed to pay off debt, save money, stuff like that. But in 2006, on her birthday, I finally proposed to her. She knew about it, actually. She helped pick out the ring. We got on sort of this adrenaline rush one night where we decided we were going to get married, and we picked out the ring and we made invitations for everyone. Everyone thought it was going to be her birthday party, and it ended up snowing that day, and everyone wanted to cancel on us. And so we only had really the immediate family show up. It was at her mom's house in Lake Stevens. But it worked out good because it was a nice intimate setting.
And he actually asked me to be his star forever versus like, will you marry me? And it was really awesome. And even though I knew about the proposal that was going to take place at my birthday party, I did not know that Mike's brother was going to play our song.
So all that year we were planning our wedding. We decided to give ourselves a year to pay things off as we go, and so we wouldn't be totally in debt from it.
We did a lot of things ourselves, like the programs, and we put a lot of details into it to make it our own. Invitations we made,
decorations around the church we made. And we picked the church in Port Gamble, Washington. I'm wearing the shirt. I don't know if you can tell. Because we'd driven by it on our vacations, and it's just a cute little church. And Hilda had mentioned one time that if we ever got married, she wanted to get married there.
Yeah, we drove by it on a camping trip, and I was like, that is where I want to get married. I just knew when I saw it.
So finally, after all the hard work and preparation, on December 1st, 2007, we got married.
Every special event we have, it seems like it snows. So of course on our wedding it has to snow, and it really added a lot of character to the pictures, and
it made for a small wedding. We were worried we invited too many people, but because it snowed, a lot of people didn't show up. So it worked out. Then right after our wedding, we headed on down to Hawaii for our honeymoon. We spent a week on Kauai and a week on the Big Island. And that was the first time I flew in a plane. And it wasn't as bad as I thought.
And I think we had 6 flights.
Yeah, it was 6 flights total throughout the whole thing. Transferring islands and stuff. So I'm a pro now. So then another alarm went off in Hilda's head, and she really wanted to have a baby. I felt more ready for it, so we kind of agreed that we would stop preventing ourselves from having a baby and just see what happened. I was under the impression it'd take a while, like a year or so before you get pregnant, but it was literally like a month or two later.
Yeah, it was right away.
And we found out we were pregnant. And we found out on our vacation. We were going on our 1-year anniversary for our wedding. We went to the Oregon coast.
The whole time on our vacation, I kept thinking I was pregnant. Actually, I thought I was pregnant at Thanksgiving, and I had been taking like pregnancy tests, and they kept saying negative. I had like 2, and then pregnancy tests that came out negative. And then on our vacation, I went to go buy another test, and
I just said, it's going to be negative again. You've taken 2 already. Why waste the money? So we put it back. And then when we came back from the vacation, it was my first day back at work, and she was still off or something.
No,
like
I went to work and...
Oh, you went to work and you came back home?
As soon as I came home, I went to go buy a pregnancy test. Because I just had a feeling. Took another one, and it came out positive.
Yep. So she told me when I got home, but I kind of knew by the look on her face when she said, guess what, you know?
And that's how this little one came to be. When we found out we were pregnant December 3rd, we just kind of talked about how we wanted to just keep it a secret and kind of digest it for, 2-3 weeks, you know. So we planned a Christmas party, and the theme of the party was to come decorate our first Christmas tree, because it was the first year we bought a big old Christmas tree.
So of course, after all this planning for our Christmas party, guess what happens? It snows. Snowed a couple days before, snowed the morning of, especially where our parents live, it was snowing a lot harder, so everybody canceled on us this time. I called them that morning and pretty much just yelled at them saying, we've been planning this, it's our first Christmas tree, our first Christmas married together, you know, you gotta be here, it's important to us. And so reluctantly everybody came down, and that's when we told them, and you're gonna get to see that right now because we've actually got some video of when we told. My mom, and her grandparents were all there that day, and then my brothers and my dad and stepmom couldn't make it, so we told them a week later, I think it was, and you'll get to see that right after.
And nobody knew they were being filmed.
Yeah, it was all secret. So you also might be wondering why we were so adamantly asking you over here. And had to get you over here because we've been planning it for a while. And well, I don't know how to tell you, but yeah, she's pregnant.
I told Mom on the way down here. I said, I know it. Are you serious?
Very serious, yeah. We've been waiting so long to tell you.
At the birthday party, I didn't have a clue that you were going to assume. Of course, you have a girl. I knew that's what it was. I don't know if I'd ever seen this.
Of course.
Well, we knew you guys would be the only chance you had.
Sorry, are you happy you came?
Yeah, sorry we made it so hard on you.
Before you open, we wanted to give you another Christmas present, and that's next to you. You gotta give your grandma. Oh my God! All right! Alright, so that's it for this special flashback edition of the Ladybug Girl Show. Now you know all about Mommy and Daddy's story. Let's find out all about Emily's story. Next week we've got her birth and Mom's labor leading up to it. So don't miss it. It's going to be a good one. Say bye-bye. 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 Yeah. Good job.
You're gonna have fun editing this.
I know. No! That'll look funny on the camera.